Alright, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new. My name's Oliver. So for today's video, we have an episode recap of The Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10, Episode 5. Let's go and get into it. So, it starts off with Stacey and Ashley going back and forth about the whole Chris Samuels thing. Remember how last episode, Ashley brought up Stacey trying to talk to Chris Samuels, allegedly? And Stacey's like, okay, but wouldn't any guy go around saying that I'm dating them? And then Angel said, well, he's not like that because she knows Chris because he is one of Bobby's mentors. Then Stacey made it very clear, and she showed that rock on her hand, and she said, I'm back with my husband. Okay, said it straight. Exactly. Then Stacey also said that it's like they want her to be someone else so bad, and it's unbelievable. Anyways, after dinner, they go back to the villas, and they have a little birthday bash for Wendy. Kay leaves early. They play a bunch of games. They're like asking each other questions and whatnot. Ashley asks Wendy if she's ever been sexually attracted to a woman, and Wendy's like, yes, I have. And then she describes her whole situation with that, and then Tia's like, OMG, you should have asked me that question because I've always had a crazy crush on Rachel Maddow. Oh gosh, I just love Tia. Then Ashley asked Jazzy if there have been any infractions in regards to Darius, and she said no. And then Wendy asked Angel if she could kill anyone in the group, who would it be? And then Angel said Giselle because she called her a catfish. And then Giselle said she's happy to be killed by Angel because at least it tells her that she has a pulse. Then at this point, it's like Angel really seems very comfortable with all the girls, and then they all hug and stuff, and you know, then they all go to bed. So the next day, it starts off with Angel and Kay. They're talking in their villa, and Angel says that she's very disappointed in Giselle. Giselle walks in, and Kay leaves so that they can talk, and then Angel starts crying. She has her sunglasses on, but she's crying. And Angel said that she looked at Giselle like a big sister, and her experience around these girls has been so messed up, and she felt like Giselle was just really being mean with the whole picture thing and the catfish stuff. So Giselle is like, I apologize, and she didn't mean it like that, and she asked if she can give Angel a hug, and Angel says no. And Giselle's like, this girl want to hug me 1 minute, and then the next minute that she doesn't. And then Giselle's like, 1 minute this girl wants to hug me, then the next minute she doesn't. Basically, last night, like, they were all hugging and stuff. Like, they just, like it's just, I don't know, it was just kind of like she switched. Anyways. Okay, so then after this, the rest of the girls meet up for breakfast. Ashley and Kay talk on the side, and then Angel comes and meets up with Ashley and Kay. Tia's like, I don't know how we haven't moved on from last night because last night was like a much different, like I'm not sure what's going on. And then Wendy said to Tia, like, you know, there's like a dark cloud over the same two people here. And then after this, they go on excursions, and then they go to the Alexander Hamilton house. Well, actually, no, they're on the way right now. And while they're on the way, they're on a bus, and the bus driver sings for them, and he's really good. And then Wendy's like, Kenny, are you teaching any lessons? Because Ashley, you need to sign up for them. Oh, okay, so then they finally get to the Alexander Hamilton house, and they get a tour. Tia asked Angel how she's feeling, and then Jazzy's like, Tia, you were thinking the same exact thing that Giselle said. And then Tia was like, yeah, but I wouldn't have addressed it like that. And then, oh, at the same time, Ashley FaceTimes Dean and Dylan, her sons, and they like have a really big fascination with Hamilton. I actually did too, not gonna lie. And I loved watching the musical, very good. But yeah, going back to Tia, Jazzy, and Angel. Jazzy's like, okay, last night, Angel, you were so open and your personality was so bubbly, but this morning, it's like when you get with Kay, you don't have the same energy. And then Angel said she wasn't bubbly last night, she was just annoyed. And then Jazzy's very confused, and she's like, who did you talk to in order to get so upset? The camera footage rolls, right? Right after she left the villa last night, she wants to go to Kay's room, and they were talking about it. And that's how she got upset again. So it just switched her attitude again. All right, anyways, after this, I think they go back to the villas. Wendy invited the girls over to the CGC, which is the Curly Girl Collective. Specifically, they invited the PPP, the Pussy Pink Palace girls, which... okay, the CGC, that's what Wendy, Stacey, and Jazzy. The PPP, not the loans, but it's Ashley and Giselle and Tia. So then Wendy is like, okay, Ashley, you're over here, you're Captain Save-A-Ho because you saved Giselle last night being questioned about the NFL player. And then Giselle's like, okay, yeah, but me and Stacey are different because Stacey lied about Chris Samuels. And Wendy's like, no, we need to stay on your man, Giselle. We're staying on this. We're not moving to Chris. We're staying on this. So then Giselle said that her father said that basically she needs to find a man that fits her like a comfortable shoe. Or that fits like a comfortable shoe. And Wendy's like, have y'all had sex? And then Giselle's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Then Wendy's like, okay, this will tell me everything I need to know if I ask you this cool question. Have your daughters met him? And Giselle said, I don't want to answer any more questions. And then Giselle clarified and said that it was only Grace. I think it was only Grace that met him. But then Wendy is like, you know what? As someone who can now call themselves Giselle's friend, I'm very happy for you. And Giselle was like, wow, thank you, Wendy, and whatnot. So, yeah. So, following this, Angel must have mentioned Bobby or something, how he wants to buy art, and then Giselle's like, you always mention Bobby, but nothing about what's going on with you. And then someone asked Tia how she and her husband met, and Tia is just talking about how they met, and then the cultural differences with her and her husband, and her parents' opposition to marrying someone who isn't Nigerian, and then also raising kids and having them not be raised in a like fully Nigerian household, and like just the cultural differences with that too. So following this, they get on the bus to go to the artisan village. They shop, but Wendy doesn't feel that good, so she goes to sit down. Angel texted Bobby sex, like literally just sex, and he's expecting to make a baby when they get home. Then Stacy decides to text TMO sex, and he says, you want sex? And she responded with a selfie of herself that says sex with me, and he responds with, I think you have the wrong number. You can never make me hate Stacy, y'all. You can never make me hate Stacy. Then following this, of course, Ashley runs to Giselle to go tell her that immediately. Then Wendy goes to sit down on the bus, and then the rest of the girls go to a steel drum lesson. Wendy does come up to the steel drum lesson though and whatnot. But anyways, they go back to the village after this. They're getting ready for dinner, but Wendy's not going because she's sick. But Giselle and Stacy go in and check on her. They go to Sunshine's, and Sunshine himself brings them the killer bee drink. Okay, I have been to that restaurant, Sunshine, and I have a picture with the guy, Sunshine. I would put the picture on here, but my parents are in the picture. And actually, I didn't even ask my parents if I could put the picture out, so I'm just gonna refrain. But the Sunshine guy, he's very nice. He's funny, he's so funny, but I have a picture with him. So yeah, but yeah, they drink that killer bee drink. It's strong. It is a very strong drink. So then Angel's like, okay, am I on the menu again tonight? And then Giselle's like, the night's still young. And then Giselle said that Wendy was offended that Kay didn't join her birthday bash the night before. And Kay said something about like she was just really tired or something like that. And then Jazzy and Kay low-key get into it. It's just a bunch of back and forth, and then Jazzy apologizes, and I can't even remember if Kay apologizes, but it was just like So yeah, anyways, it was a great episode though. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. Please remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.